Shall I take the lead then? Oh well. Hello
Sure.
everyone, and welcome to the WmD Invitationals 3 Finals. I have here with me Army.
What up?
Introduce it. What up as well. So shall we just go straight into the games?
No, because we just started the broadcast and we need to let some people trickle in.
Right, of course. So,
So we should just fill time and talk a bunch of shit for a little while. Maybe chat with the
okay,
crowd, do some ask me anything.
all right. Well, ask away. Or Army, you'll know something entertaining.
Well, at first we should give a little background of how these players got here. So, I mean, you've been following the tournament. Do you want to cover some of the brackets? Maybe cover the upper bracket?
All right, I'll just get them in front of me. Let's see. I believe all the bracket games were best of three, which is, as usual, really. And it was all factions except for Staghounds for the Brits. So upper brackets, no real upsets really. Korean Army 2-0 Aimstrong, which was quite impressive. We know Korean Army is a really solid player going to the finals in the last 1v1 tourney, but Aimstrong being still one of the favourites, and although many have said he's not in his best of shape, that was reasonably surprising. We saw Marines getting really far. He got to third place this tournament with some impressive sniper play in most of the games, or Shermans with field repairs. Anyone who watched the broadcast yesterday will remember his fast Sherman with field repairs completely destroying Symbiosis in the early game or mid game. Anything you want to add?
Well, I watched Marina's games for Siberian Platoon. Those were excellent. Marina's hates Semwa, but he managed to play an excellent second game as Americans against Siberian's Wehrmacht, and Marina's was able to do his crazy, rifles going south and the long cap walk and get a little early advantage. And he saved his fuel and he just rushed Tank Depot. And Siberian Platoon, who likes to kind of go all factions, had a pack or two out and was probably teching to tier 3 on his way to Pumas and Geschützwagons and all that tier 3 goodness that he loves, Nebels. But Marina's managed to end the game before he got there with a croc and a Sherman just kiting his packs, getting in deep, doing tons and tons of damage, blasting crew repairs when they got in trouble. It was really kind of an epic scene, and to force it to a third game. But then, Siberian, he had choice, and like a lot of these COH players, he committed what I think is a ridiculous error, and that is he chose the faction that he lost with. It's like he's got something to prove. But he's Siberian Platoon, so he can get away with it, unlike all the rest of the players. And he actually came back and was victorious in the third game. So that's how he got to these finals. And he's been waiting for an opponent. He basically spent all of Sunday waiting for an opponent because there were 2 or 3 rounds of the losers bracket that had to get played before he had anyone to go against. So maybe can you tell us about the last 4 in the losers bracket and what their fates were?
Yes, so we had the Korean Army against Symbiosis and Melem against Guderian in round 3, or no,
Tell me
round,
about.
what is
Do,
it,
do you know anything
5?
about Symbi versus Korean Army? Because did I see those games? I think I.
Well, with those matchups, actually, we had to drop players because they couldn't be there on time. And as you said, Siberian spent the whole of Sunday waiting for a matchup. So in the end, it was Guderian against Symbiosis. Those games were casted yesterday, which were really good. I think Symbiosis won 2-0, but both games were really impressive. And as you said, the third decider game, it's always, thinking, do I go my strongest faction again, or do I go the faction I lost in? That obviously means you go with your weaker faction, but it does give you the element of surprise, and also your opponent will probably not be able to do the strategy he did last game because you'll, be prepared for it.
So you're saying Korean Army or Symbiosis did not get played at
No,
all?
No,
Oh, that's a real drag. That would have been a great matchup.
it was indeed. And well, Korean Army, as I said, 2-0 Armstrong, and it eventually went out to 1 to Marina, so he still had a shot at winning this. And he's also a fan favorite to many people. He was broadcasting last tournament, and he seems to be a really nice guy, nice player.
He is. Every time I've dealt with him, he's been just a total gentleman and a sportsman. And he was broadcasting his games versus Armstrong on a Korean streaming service where you need to download some kind of player. And I went to the site and I tried to click, but I didn't know what to click, of course, and I didn't want to install some Korean software that I wouldn't even know how to uninstall and couldn't read. But Lollipop was kind enough to restream Korean Army's first-person perspective playing against Armstrong, and that was awesome. It was on Angleville. In the first game, Armstrong got out of King Tiger, but Korean Army was just swarming and was just all over him. So that's a good series. If you haven't seen a lot of these games, you might want to go back and watch that one. An excellent series.
Yes.
But
Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, so just setting the stage tonight. Yeah, after Symbiosis won the third game with just the luckiest stug on the planet of Company of Heroes. He earned his way into the finals, and then Siberian must have been up way late at night. It must have been 3 or 4 in the morning in the Ukraine when he finally played against Symbiosis last night. And so that gives us the opportunity to bring you these games today. And with the double elimination format, just so you guys know, that this finals, it remains a best of 3, but if Symbiosis wins the first best of 3, then since it's double elimination and that's Siberian's first loss, he gets a second chance. So Symbiosis would have to win 2 bests of 3s to actually take the tournament, and SiberianPlatoon only has to win the first best of 3.
Yes, that does leave the advantage in SiberianPlatoon's favor, but seeing as Symbiosis, who was relative to other big names in this tournament, is relatively unknown, despite winning the 2v2 tournament with Lollipop. And he's been a really good player as far as I've seen. And with Marinas, neither have really gotten very extremely far in other 1v1 tournaments, but here they've really been able to show what they're made of.
Yeah, the two of them were both sort of Cinderella stories. I mean, for them two to get further than Korean Army and Armstrong is out of this world. It's like that just doesn't
Exactly.
happen. Those dudes, it's always Siberian, Armstrong, and Korean Army are always the top 3. But then here we have Marinez and Symbiosis outlasting those guys. And man, Simbi to get here, he played a 3-game series versus Guderian. Game 3 went an hour and 8 minutes or something. Guderian had that 70-kill sniper, and then he goes into a series Marinas right after that, and that goes to game 3. So Simbi had, if we imagine his state, he must be fatigued. So, okay, it's really late for Siberian when this was played, but Symbiosis has been playing for hours and hours and hours, and it's probably fatigued. So we might not see perfect COH play. Our viewers should be ready that these guys are both coming into this either tired or exhausted.
Yes, exactly. And not to mention that every single player in this tournament is top tier. So to get through, how many rounds has Symbiosis played? I think something like 6, 7 rounds in a weekend. That is impressive to get through all these top tier players and then still be able to play the finals, get into the finals at first, and then be able to play them. So yeah, hats off to him.
All right, well, I hear they're playing for a $300 prize pool, of which the winner gets 70%. So the winner of this tournament is going to take home $210, and that's not bad in terms of COH prize money. So let's set the stage here. I was a bit shocked when I saw the factions coming into this game.
I was too. We have Brits picked by Symbiosis, and Wehrmacht picked by SiberianPlatoon on Langra.
Simbi's got to be crazy picking Brits against SiberianPlatoon on Langra after what we've seen in previous tournaments and SNFs. That's just suicide, don't you think?
Yes, indeed. Well, last 1v1 tournament, gr.org 1v1 tournament, saw Korean Army facing off against Siberian Platoon on Langra in the exact same matchup, and there Siberian really, well, I won't say dominated, but he had the advantage practically the whole game. So either Symbiosis isn't aware of that, or he has found a counter to Siberian's strat.
He must have something up his sleeve because, you know, Simbi, he's on the forums and he participates in 2v2 tournaments and various leagues and so forth. And so he's definitely aware of it. You know, it's like these guys, they all know each other. They've seen each other's games. There was that huge feature on Siberian Platoon that was written by Cement and had my interviews and organization and stuff like that. And so everybody knows Siberian. I mean, they know. The thing is, his game like doesn't really have any holes. You know, he plays combined arms. He plays through all the tiers. He plays all factions. That's the tough thing about him. But to think that you can sort of surprise him with something that comes out of Brits, you know, and Brits, they're not that diverse of a faction. So what can you pull out of your sleeve as Brits? You know, like there's not that much variety available.
Indeed, I think I'm expecting an all-in strategy, really, a super fast Stuart or something similar, or a all-in Bren, double Bren base rush or something like that to really, you know, since you can't surprise him with a well-developed strategy, let's be honest, these are the Brits. But I think he will, he might be able to really surprise Siberian with, yeah, a super fast vehicle, super fast chrome or something along the lines of, you know, surprise factor instead of a really complex strategy and really outplaying his opponent, as it were.
All right, Berlichter predicts some kind of vehicle rush. We'll see if he can even get there. I mean, Siberian
Yes.
puts on so much pressure. He's going to probably pio spam. He's going to lay a lot of mines. You know, I mean, we saw how he beat Korean Army. It was just mines and MGs and pios and flames. And yeah, that's how he countered the early Bren carrier. So we'll see if Symbiosis goes Bren. I think he almost has to. I can't imagine him trying to get any map control without a Bren. But why don't we just get this thing kick-started, you know? I hope everybody, it looks like Chains is alive. He's moving the camera around, so if he's good to go and you're good to go, I'm paused at 5 seconds. Why don't you count
I'm
us
good to
in?
go. Pause at 5 seconds. Shall I do the countdown?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8. So
Oh, I love it. Siberian in the
yeah,
finals, man. It's the creme de la creme. It's just I'm a happy shoutcaster when I get to watch his games. It's good
indeed,
stuff.
he must be the player who has been in the most GL.org or Invitational finals. I think he's the last WmD Invitational. I think he won as well, and of course last 1v1 tournament, Sunday Night Fight. Yeah, he's been a regular contender, and well, obviously great play from him.
He's playing on this Ektor, which really is pronounced like Hector, and it's it's the Greek mythological character, fortitude, strength, and so forth. So here come the Pios. Let's see. He's actually building Wehrmacht quarters after only 4 Pios, so that's
Yes,
a bit of a surprise.
I believe he's going to try to do what he did in the Korean Army game. Get
MGs.
yes, get those pioneers to really get himself that capping advantage against the Brits, and then follow up with tier 1 units to eliminate Brit infantry with snipers, and then counter the Bren with MGs and bikes.
Okay, well, nothing surprising yet for Symbiosis. He's playing the very standard Brit opening, heading towards the medium ammo there, right in front of him in the center of the map. His Tommies are engaging the first set of Pios. Siberian micros away. And his
Indeed,
Tommies are
and
being very aggressive. Look at this. They're going deep into enemy territory.
yes, he realizes either Siberian goes for fast tier 2, in which case he'll only have pyros for the first few minutes, or a delayed tier 1, which will also mean he won't have a lot of
Bike
fighting
first.
power.
So how many like bike plus how many squads of Pios do you need to beat that first Tommy squad?
I believe you only need 2 pioneers and a bike if you use
Look at
bike
that,
push
he's already killed a
effectively.
Tommy.
Yes,
That was
and
kind of a break to get that kill that quick.
yes, indeed. And I saw that Symbiosis didn't go for the fuel immediately, which probably rules out a super fast Stuart or a super fast Churchill. So I take it he'll be really aggressive with his infantry sections, try and put Siberian on the back foot immediately.
Okay, here's an idea. Look at this. His lieutenant right now just capped the VP. So he is draining against Siberian. So perhaps Simbi's whole plan is not to win as Brits, but to drain as much VP as he possibly can, because perhaps they both think that this is a Wehrmacht map and that they can win as Wehrmacht. So maybe Symbiosis' pure objective here is to get as much drain as he can. And look, he's got Tommy sort of by the left VP and the middle VP. So maybe that's his whole strat.
Well, it could well be, because he's shown yesterday that he is able to play not only well but for several games, and since he'd have to win twice, a best of 3 twice, that might well be his strategy, since he obviously proved that he won't be completely worn out after a few games.
I mean, look, the lieutenant's capping now the center VP, so he's going to have a 2-0 drain happening. And I think maybe he's just trying to collect as many VPs as he can, knowing that Brits are much stronger early. And although, you know, lots of piles is lots of capping power, it looks like Siberian's paying absolutely no attention to VPs at all. So he's not concerned.
Yes, I think he on the other hand is confident in being able to win with allies on Langra. Of course, a lot of people remember the Sunday Night Fight game against Armstrong. He played US on Langra magnificently, if I say so myself. That
poured
was
on the pressure. Just great
play.
rifle play, right? Textbook
Yes,
rifle, flamer play.
And of course he always has his own trump card, which is going Brits himself. He's often gone Brits in the decider game, but yeah, he might be able to go Brits as well in the second game. Meanwhile, he has gotten 2 MGs and a bike, probably to just force the Tommies and the Bren gun carrier on the back foot, and he's getting a sniper now, so pretty standard play if you're going to go tier 1.
So we have 1 mine down from Siberian and a flamer squad, so he's spending his early munis. How are your munis looking?
He's got 77, 78, 79 and 48 muni income, so that is considerable. Of course, this is longer, and you have these 2 plus 10 practically unharassable points next to your base, but add to that the the immense capping power of 4 pyres in the early game, and you get yourself a lot of munis really rather quickly.
Oh, he's got a second mine by that center VP, so he's already got 2 mines down. And as we expected, it's 2 MGs to sort of keep this Bren carry at bay. And one thing I like about SiberianPlatoon is he only makes adjustments if they're necessary. Like, if he loses with something on a certain map, then he'll change something. But as long as it's working and he's winning with it, he won't change it. And I think that's an intelligent way to play competitive COH at the top level.
Indeed.
Make your opponent...
However, now the gun carrier is moving in. And I believe a Pioneer squad just died, and both MGs are forced to retreat. One got a unlucky hit from the mortar. Lost
the sniper tried to annihilate that recon squad, but he missed the retreating last Tommy member.
Yes, and I believe he's going to try and bait the Bren gun carrier. Wow, that sniper's actually taking damage from the Bren gun carrier, although he is cloaked. That was rather strange, but anyway. And Symbiosis made a really good push right now. He's taking back quite some map control. He's got a mortar up and now tier 2.
Yep, his field sport is planting now, and although Siberian stopped the drain and had it in his favor for a few moments there, it looks like Simbi's going to put the drain back on, and he's already taken almost 50 VPs away from SiberianPlatoon. So, you know, with like a VP conscious Wehrmacht play, that could already be enough.
Indeed. And right now, Symbiosis is all he needs really. He's got his Bren gun carrier and 2 infantry sections and a mortar, and that will probably be enough to prevent any base pinning, which would just allow him to take up, get Stuart sappers.
He's trying to mortar the sniper position, which is difficult. Siberian uncloaks and repositions. I guess Siberian popped self-healing on that Bren, because it's back up to full health now.
Yes, he did. And right now, Siberian's playing rather passively. He realizes I don't want to push and risk losing either my sniper or another valuable unit. So I'm just gonna, stay here and wait for my real Wehrmacht death ball of packs and stews and Grens to kick in.
Right. Siberian gets out of that house that was being mortared, not losing a single member of the MG team. That's impressive. And now the mortars are spreading the Tommies around. Watch those team kills there.
Yes, and that mortar is really far back. It will prevent any base spinning, but right now it can't really do anything since Siberian's fallen back to his scrap point and his ammo fuel point.
Okay, well, Simbi just waited till the exact 45 fuel was in the bank to put out the early Stuart. As you expected, he was actually floating manpower to make sure that he could build it the second that it became available. Now he's got to be careful with this. Lieutenant! Oh, the bike! Oh, my goodness, what in the world? ... Perhaps he's claiming that it was a bugged unit and that he couldn't retreat it. I don't know what, but that was terrible to lose the lieutenant. You need to keep those guys alive. It was coming in.
Losing a strategic location.
And Siberian has immediately seen, well, he's not getting a gigantic blob, he's not getting several lieutenants, so he must be getting a Stuart, and he got a pack immediately, which is, well, logical play, really. Meanwhile, the recon section is harassing his fuel. Not really sure how much good that will do, considering Siberian will probably go for stews and tier 2, neither of which require a whole lot of fuel.
True that.
But here comes the rain gun carrier. Not sure what that's going to do with a pack on the
field.
field.
He's going to die real quick. Oh no, it's going to get one-shotted. Oh, he survived the first shot, but the bike can finish him off even if he gets out of the cone of fire, which he won't. Down he goes. So Simbi kind of lost the plot here. I mean, that lieutenant died, and then he just sort of chucks his Bren carrier away. The Stuart is out, but I wonder if he'll try to grab just a few more VPs. There he goes. That Bren squad is going to take the center VP. And, 430 is respectable. Sometimes that is enough if Wehrmacht wins both of the first couple games.
It is, and you already see this defensive lockdown Siberian has in effect. He's got 4 mines already on the right and in the middle, and he hasn't really lost anything. He's just lost a few pioneers here and there, an MG crew member, but he's kept everything alive, and that is crucial against Brits.
Gren's just upgraded to Shrek and fired their first stovepipe round into their own feet. And off they go. So the Brens are able to put the drain back on, and look at this! Symbiosis is even harassing the left VP, so he's going to have a 3-0 drain running for a little while. I mean, I think his tactics here are clear. I don't really think he expects to win this, but he is smart. Too many top COH players, and we're talking about top players, guys that play in tournaments, don't pay attention to the VPs. They just, the VP play kind of goes against the spirit of the game. The spirit of COH is to not cap VPs early. Whenever you're on ladder, you want to win, and you know that by winning you're going for resources, you're keeping your manpower, high, and it goes against the spirit of the game, so a lot of the top players don't even bother with it. But Symbiosis is smart, and he is taking full care of the VP situation, and I like to see that, because that is tournament competitive play developing. I would wish that more players would.
It is indeed. Yeah. His captain just go down though, trying to harass the exact same point. Well, he did cap it, but trying to take the exact same point his lieutenant just died to. And he's got really considerable map control right now. He's got the left fuel and, of course, the middle Lux trucks. But as I said, Siberian hasn't lost anything yet, and Symbiosis lost 2 already. So
he's doing. I mean, Symbiosis is doing so well. You'd almost think for a second that if he hadn't been so careless with those officers, maybe he'd have a chance at this. I mean, he's doing real well, much better than Korean Army did.
RAF has made glided troop drops.
Indeed, and he's realizing right now, I'm not going to break that, 2 Grenadiers already, Veteran C1 on it, probably going to get Vet 2 pretty soon as well. G's, pack, bike, sniper, you're not going to break through that, so you're going to have to harass and go for map control.
commandos, so perhaps... Oh, yep, here they come.
NCOs reporting they have
They're
destroyed
Probably
flying
gonna
in
take
behind
out
the
the
MG in the pack
sniper
towards the
retreats.
sniper.
Good
Sniper's
retreat.
retreating. Here they go. Can they get him? Rat-a-tat-tat. Guns are firing away. The sniper's health is down to about 20%. And it looks like he's going to clear the hedgerow and escape with his life. The commandos are forced to change targets. And what suppressed them?
I have no idea.
Why did they go down their
Mike?
bellies? Really?
Oh, I believe it may have the MG crew in the back. However,
Where?
now
That really? I didn't see
Yeah.
them firing. Wow, they threw a native pack and it survived.
NCOs reporting they have
Oh,
destroyed.
now
they
they-
finally
yeah,
get
okay.
down. I think actually they cleared the pack after they retreated. It was so close.
and that was very good micro by Siberian. He was very alert. He immediately retreated when he saw or heard even that glider coming in. Interestingly,
sniper
he
book it,
recruited
right?
that pack with he recruited that pack with his pioneers, which means he does lose that whole pioneer squad, and there was Shrek, 4-man Shrek squad nearby. So I guess he decides I don't really need my pioneers anymore, or he needed that Gren on the field immediately. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure either. I mean, the cost difference is not that big. You know, Grenadiers, of course, a little more expensive to reinforce. But he popped the medic pack on the sniper. He's back out. He's already got 11 kills and he's fully healthy again.
And here comes the Stuart. It's moving in through the left. I'm not sure what it's going to do since the Brit infantry is kind of pinned down there in the middle. Pack redeploys, but right now Siberian's got this death trap, this death camp really locking down these two sectors, and I don't think Symbiosis is going to break through this without Artie.
So I guess it's going to be a while before he gets that commando Artie, right? I mean, he's gone the commando side of this tree. So it's still going to take a while before he gets the real Artie that he can call in, huh?
Indeed. And Siberian's moving up his grants. He's going to... No, he doesn't finish the mortar, but he's moving up. Big mortar hit on the grants.
Mortar shot! 4 grenadiers die. Did he lose an entire squad there?
I don't think so. Yes, both escaped into the half track. That was very good.
Oh, look at that! And then they pop out again and start reinforcing. But whoa! I mean, Siberian's heart must have skipped a beat as he saw those 4+4 XPs light up in one shot. What a shocker!
I think he was expecting a canister shot from that Stuart, and that's why he put them into the half track. But I guess the mortar will do as well.
Oh, another big bunch of death.
Destroyed a German
The
target.
commandos jump up on top of a pioneer squad. They
And
set
the
off a
commando
mine.
goes
4 guys
down.
dies in a mine, but they're so dwindled so low that the sniper and the bike are able to annihilate them before as they try to retreat. The Brit medics are starting to go to work. Siberian's not sniping the medics. He's working on the HQ. Those Grens are sneaking up again. They want to deliver the knockout punch here.
And here comes the Stu, might be able to deliver that knockout punch. I think Symbiosis has only got his Piat so far, which should be an easy job for the sniper.
Siberian's had enough of that mortar, man. Those Grens are pissed. They really want to take the mortar out. They've almost got it down.
However, that 4-man squad might just even die to a single mortar round. It's so low health.
Down it goes.
Oh, 3 men down.
Oh, wow! So first they kill the mortar, but a shot was in the air, and when it lands, it kills 3 grenadiers. Fantastic.
And the Stu, which circled around the left, hit a mine, and it's probably going to hit a second mine, which is great mine placement by Symbiosis. He realizes I need to halt that and stall that shock unit so I can get better AT on the field. Speaking of which, he's now got his church.
Here comes the Cromwell, yeah, just hitting the field. That will definitely be able to counter the Stu. Let's see if he can stay out of the pack cone, which has now turned, and those 2 grenadiers are going to be... He doesn't like this MG pinning all his guys, trying to reinforce at his base, so that's his first priority. But those grenadiers are going to garrison that house, and that Cromwell better hoof it out of there. Maybe he might even want to spend some ammo on speed just to get out of there and to get over to the left where he needs to fight off this Stu that is killing Piat guys and taking down the health of the casualty clearing station. It's down. They got it. Man, Stu against buildings so fast, so deadly.
Indeed, and that Cromwell took a ton of damage from that pack and the Shrek Gren squad in the building. And right now Siberian has the advantage. He's using his shock unit perfectly. He's killed another
Lieutenant
officer,
Balls.
and now
Yes.
he's moving in for the truck.
This is where it just sucks to be Brits. But I bet as all of his dudes are on their bellies, suppressed, getting shelled by the stew and everything else, Symbiosis is just looking up at the stars and seeing 252 on the VP, and I bet he's perfectly satisfied with that.
Indeed, but
finally,
now comes Mando Artie in the middle.
See, look at Siberian, just easily, smoothly micros away.
Indeed,
like
that was great.
absolutely no problem. You cannot surprise him. He's totally aware. He moves the screen with his left hand with like AWSD or the arrow keys, I don't know which, but he is super quick, and it is very hard to surprise him with some off-map artillery. He is not one to miss smoke. The Brits are falling. The truck is almost down. The Tommy squads are almost annihilated. We've got poor, pathetic vehicles that can't be repaired. And Simbi says GG with a smile. But who really won that? I don't know. I think maybe Simbi got what he wanted.
Yes, and I think what really lost him this game was not only the early officer losses, but also he squandered his shock unit, his Cromwell, and the Stuart didn't really do anything either. And the Cromwell got one kill, and then it was forced to back off, and it just didn't have the effect. It could have, countered the Stew, chased it off, perhaps not kill it, but and he just didn't use Cromwell to full effect, and I believe that's why he lost. And of course, completely, great Wehrmacht play by Siberian. He didn't lose anything really.
Okay, here's a little blunder. I'm lauding Symbiosis and his intelligent VP management, blah 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 blah. Right, but perhaps I'm just blowing hot air out my ass because he actually quit when he had two VPs and Siberian only had one. So basically, the longer he just sat there in game, the more VPs would have drained. And if that was his intention, which I'm starting to wonder about now, he should have just stayed in there at least until Siberian stopped the drain. He should have ran the truck around. I mean, whatever. I mean, why not? That's the tournament. That's what we're here for. So I don't necessarily like seeing him GG out when he has the 2 VP lead, but it's understandable. He was beaten and lost. Maybe the difference between 238 and 215 or whatever isn't a big deal. So let's see how Simbi can play Wehrmacht, and don't go very far because I have a sneaking suspicion this will be a very short break and we'll be coming right back at you guys.